Gold prices are dollar-based. It becomes cheaper for other nations to buy gold. They're going to keep lowering interest rates. Go back to 2018. And again, remember, we made this fork. The trends are all there. The facts are all there. The Dow had its worst December since the Great Depression. Powell was Fed head then, and Trump was president. He forced Powell to lower interest rates, which he did in in January 2019. They're going to lower them, lower them, lower them. They're going to do everything they can to artificially prop up the equity markets.
Gerald Celente has turned increasingly bullish on gold, emphasizing that the metal is no longer just a hedge, but the ultimate safe haven in an era of systemic risk. He frames its rise not as a speculative bet, but as a structural response to global dislocations in finance and economics. In his view, gold is stepping back into its historical role as the foundation of trust when confidence in governments, central banks, and fiat currencies begins to fracture. If present trends continue, he sees gold moving toward levels that would have seemed unimaginable just a few years ago. Alongside his bullish stance, Celente warns of a looming economic storm. He uses stark terms to describe what he believes will be a depression-level downturn, fueled by mounting debt, weakening growth, and political dysfunction. In such a climate, he argues, governments may be forced into extreme measures, from capital controls to restrictions on financial flows, that could alter how wealth is stored and transferred. These scenarios, he suggests, make holding tangible assets like gold a defensive necessity rather than a luxury. Celente also outlines specific flashpoints that could bring his outlook to life. He points to the risk of an AI-driven stock bubble bursting, the fragility of commercial real estate threatening banks, energy shocks driven by geopolitical conflicts, and the inflationary waves that would ripple across the global economy as a result. In his telling, even one of these catalysts would be enough to redirect capital flows toward hard assets, but the combination of several would all but guarantee a dramatic repricing of gold. Now, we present the clips from his interview. Before we continue to discuss this, please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell icon for timely updates, and enjoy the video.
Look at Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, in the Trends Journal, March of 2024. This land in Gaza is very valuable waterfront property, and we should move the Palestinians into the Negev desert. Oh, the Jared Kushner, when Netanyahu used to come to America, he stayed at the Kushner's family. Oh, Kushner's old man that was thrown into jail for he set up cameras for his brother-in-law that he wanted to screw out of the money, and the brother-in-law was screwing a prostitute. That Jared Kushner, who Trump gave a pardon to, his father? Oh, how about Trump that wants to turn it into the Middle East Riviera? This is criminal act in front of everybody's eyes. They're going to do everything they can to keep this war going. And that's our major concern. More war against Iran, more war against Syria, more war against Lebanon. Yeah, and the Ukraine war, now Trump's saying he's going to support that to keep going. And Ukraine should not give back any of the land that Russia had. So one of my sayings is, when all else fails, they take it to war. The economies are failing. The reason gold prices are going up, one of the things we say in trend forecasting, opportunity misses those who view the world through the eyes of their profession. So you take the economic end. Wall Street and Main Street, there are no connections at all. The people playing Wall Street, they know everything about all the data. Oh, the AI, this and that and this. They have no clue what's going on geopolitically, only headlines that they read and have no idea of the reality of it. That's why gold prices are going up now at the fastest rate they've been going up since 1979. One of my books, Trend Tracking, far better than Megatrends Time magazine. I write about how I became a political atheist and a trend forecaster when the Iranian conflict broke out, and they taught us to hate Iran without anybody knowing about the United States overthrow of Mossadegh and the CIA, the MI6 in 1953, because he had the nerve to say, no, the oil in Iran belongs to the Iranian people, not Standard Oil or Anglo-Iranian oil, better known today as BP and ExxonMobil. They overthrew the government, brought in Savak, the secret police, slaughtered thousands and thousands of Palestinians. So in the rally, when the conflict happened back in the late 70s, I said, I bet oil and gold prices will go up. So I started playing the gold markets back then. I bought my first buy of gold at $163 an ounce. Now we're talking about what's going on now with gold prices goes back to then. This is much more serious than back then. because it was only the Iran conflict going on. This is serious. That's why gold prices are going up like we've never. Again, go back to the Trends Journal. Go back to your top trends for 2024, golden year for gold. Oh, it only went up almost 30% last year. And this year we said it's going to keep on going. And what is it up over now? Over 40%. We'd almost hit what? $800 an ounce almost? Back down.
Futures crossed that even, yeah.
Yeah, the futures crossed it, yeah. But the spot is now what about, as we're speaking about, what, $3,750. When I made that forecast for golden year gold, gold was at $2,041. And you go back to the Trends Journal, September 2023, we said gold bottom at $1,850, and from that point, it'll keep going up. And it did. Here's the deal. This isn't rocket science. The lower interest rates go, the deeper the dollar falls. The deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go. Gold prices are dollar-based. It becomes cheaper for other nations to buy gold. They're going to keep lowering interest rates. Go back to 2018. The Dow had its worst December since the Great Depression. Powell was Fed head then, and Trump was president. He forced Powell to lower interest rates, which he did in January 2019. They're going to lower them, lower them, lower them. They're going to do everything they can to artificially prop up the equity markets. Listen, I would have thought the equity markets would have crashed when the COVID war began. And I would have thought the housing market would have crashed. I had no idea that they would pump in these countless trillions of dollars and bring interest rates down to zero. I thought things would crash back in 2012. They didn't teach me about zero interest rate policies or a thing called quantitative easing in Economics 101 in graduate school. They'll make up any crap they want. They're only interested in pumping this thing up. And they're going to do everything they can to do it. The more they pump it up, the higher gold prices go. United States freezes Japanese assets. History today, mainstream. Remember, the Great Depression is going on, 1941. On July 26, 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt seizes all Japanese assets in the United States. How come? In retaliation for the Japanese occupation of French Indochina. French Indochina? What the hell are the French doing in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia? And you're shoving this crap down my throat that it's French Indochina? Shut the hell up, Celente! We're the warmongering freaks from around the world. Oh, the French Foreign Legion forgot all about it. Oh, we're in Algeria, Morocco. We're all over the place, killing, robbing, stealing, pillaging. All right? Goes on. The President Roosevelt swung into action. Britain and the Dutch East Indies followed suit. Dutch East Indies? What the hell are the Dutch doing in Indonesia? And the same thing the British are doing with the sun never sets on the British Empire. We're a bunch of murderers that morons and imbeciles call, hey, I'm the king. I'm the king. Shove this king crap up your you-know-what. If you were Italian, you'd call them a mafia. You're a bunch of low-life pieces of scum murderers. Oh, no, Celente. Trump just went to visit the King Charles. Do you see these little clown boys dressed up in these red costumes with these big black hats? And kiss the ring, kiss the ring. All right, so what happened over here? Because of the sanctions that the United States, the Dutch, and the Americans put on Japan in 1941, Japan, not my language, the language right over here, they lost 88% of their imported oil and 3/4 of their global trade. Can't understand why they bought Pearl Harbor. I didn't know this until 3 years ago. I knew about them cutting off the oil. I didn't know about the other things. When all else fails, they take you to war. What followed the dot-com bust? Which, by the way, we forecast in the Trends Journal, it would happen in the second quarter of 2000, which it did. NASDAQ lost 80% of its value. 9/11. When all else fails, they take you to war. Let's go back to Israel. 39 weeks of protests were going on before Hamas attacked. 39 weeks of protests against Netanyahu for his Judicial Reform Act. Not my language. Isaac Herzog, the president of Israel. Back then, Israel is in a civil war. That's right. A civil war was going on. Hamas attacked. Boop. Everybody forgot about it. And by the way, we only report the facts. 3 days after the attack from Hamas, the United States, it was reported, in Egypt, had warned Israel that the attack was happening. And Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper, came out and had all the facts there. They knew exactly what was going to happen. They let it happen. Goes back to Pearl Harbor. You see that thing as well. They knew it was going to go on. They let it happen. Before Pearl Harbor, 80% of the American people were opposed to getting involved in what was going on in Europe as World War II was ramping up. When all else fails, they take you to war. And now Trump is pushing war.
Beyond short-term catalysts, the case for gold is anchored in structural shifts that are difficult to reverse. Central banks, especially across Asia and the global south, are steadily adding bullion to their reserves at levels not seen in decades. This behavior reflects a broader lack of faith in the stability of the US dollar and in the promises of debt-driven financial systems. Each ton of gold acquired signals not just diversification, but a deliberate move away from dependence on Western-controlled financial instruments, reinforcing the idea that gold is being re-established as a neutral settlement tool in an increasingly fragmented global economy. On the individual level, Celente stresses that investors should pay attention to what large institutions and sovereign wealth funds are already doing quietly. These entities are not speculating with paper contracts, but are securing physical metal and removing it from circulation. He frames this as a leading indicator of where capital is flowing before the wider public catches on. By contrast, everyday investors remain disproportionately tied to equities and other paper assets, a disconnect that has historically preceded sudden and dramatic wealth transfers toward tangible stores of value. Let's get back to the interview.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. You got the Ukraine war going on, the Israel war going on, the economy is saying now stagflation. It's not going to be stagflation. It's going to be dragflation. It's not going to stagnate. It's going to go down, and inflation is going to keep going up. Again, look at the facts. When they launched the COVID war back in 2020, what did they do? Countries around the world, when you look at the numbers, tens of trillions of dollars of fake money backed by nothing and printed on nothing, flooded into the markets. Everything should have crashed back then. And what else they do? Oh, they kept negative interest rates and brought interest rates down to zero. How about home prices in the United States? Oh, they've only gone up 50%. 50% in 4 years, actually, they went up 50%. And now the consequences are being paid. Take a look at China. China was booming. They launched the COVID war on Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the rat, in January 2020. 3 years of zero COVID policy. They destroyed the lives and livelihoods of hundreds of millions of people. Look at their real estate crisis. What do you have? Look at the numbers. Not my numbers, the numbers they put out. Some 90 million empty apartments in China. 90 million. Oh, and the people had to buy them before they were built. Yeah, a lot of them have never even been built. So there's a crisis ahead. And as one of my sayings is, when all else fails, they take you to war. Yesterday, you just said about Trump at his speech at the UN. You know, we go all over the world to look at who's saying what. We don't take one side. So, for example, the Israel war, we subscribe, we pay to go to Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper. We go to Jerusalem Post, Times of Israel. Why not? I want to hear what they have to say. We go to IRNA, ISNA, Press TV, Tehran Times. What do you hear what the Iranians have to say? Arab News, Al Jazeera, Middle East Monitor, Middle East Dot. What do you hear what the Arabs have to say? We go to Euronews, we go to France 24, on and on. We go to listen to what everybody has to say. We say, this is what they're saying. This is our analysis. This is where we see it going. So let's go back to what Trump said. And you said how he came out against the UN. He came out against the UN? You mean the United Nations that gave us the fake state of Israel in 1948? How come he's not saying that? Let's go to the World Socialist website, WSWS.com. Trump declares war on the world at UN General Assembly speech. U.S. President Donald Trump delivered a fascist rant Tuesday to the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, in which he proclaimed, quote, America first should be the world's organizing principle, threatened war and aggression the world over, and lionized the criminal actions of his administration at home and abroad. And it goes on. Again, read what you want, believe what you want, see what you want. Trump blithely ignored the genocide of the Palestinians, appropriately enough, giving American imperialism role in arming Israel to the teeth, and his own incitement of Netanyahu's regime to pursue the complete ethnic cleansing of Gaza with his, quote, Riviera of the Middle East plan. He boasted of the illegal war the U.S. and Israel waged on Iran last June. It keeps going on. Now, remember, this is a Trump. And again, I want to make this 1,000% clear. Both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans in the United States, are nothing more than a crime syndicate. By their deeds, you shall know them. Hey, I'm Obama, the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner that lied my way into office. I want that guy Gaddafi out of there. Oh, the Afghan troop surge right after he got in. With that little clown boy betrayed us. Oh, Petraeus, excuse me. I want that guy Assad out of there. Little Georgie Bush with a pair of cojones smaller than a mothball. A little spoiled nothing of a daddy's boy. We got to get that guy Osama bin Laden dead or alive. Republicans and Democrats. Oh, let's go back to Obama. Oh, remember the Panic of '08? The domain name that I took out in 2007? Not my language, the Bard College, Levy Institute. When I say a crime syndicate, they gave the banks to bandits $29 trillion for creating the Panic of '08 to bail them out. Oh, you lost your home, your job, you're going bust. You're just a nobody. You're a nobody. Hey, I'm Jamie Dimon. Don't you know who I am? I'm at Goldman Sachs. We've only been convicted of 5 felonies. 5. Oh, you rigged the precious metals market, didn't you? Yeah, but we gave him $900 million. Shut the hell up, Celente. So when I go, what I'm saying about Trump, I say about Genocide Joe, Little Slick Willie, every one of them. So I want to make that clear. So going back to Trump, this is the clown boy. I took out the domain. I own the trademark presidential reality show, all right? When Trump ran. Yeah. I'm going to end that Ukraine war in 24 hours, all right? Hey, how about this? Talk about what they just called him about. Trump declares war on the world at UN. We want to have peace on earth all over. Oh, wait a minute. He said that to the United Nations General Assembly speech in September 25th, 2024, when he was running for office. Oh, he just did a 180. You know why? Because he's full of crap. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go through this. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. Oh, that was his campaign speech in October 2024. All right? Goes on. I want immediate peace. Oh, he said that in January when he got inaugurated. Yep. I'm moving quickly to end wars, settle conflicts, and restore the planet to peace. I want peace. He said on January 25th. Oh, bombs away over these innocent people that they had no proof that he killed in Venezuela, bombing their boats. Totally illegal. Oh, I forgot the bombing of Iran. Oh, I forgot that one. Oh, Yemen. I forgot Yemen. Oh, how about the 56 United States strikes in Somalia? Most Americans couldn't find Somalia on the map. Never heard of the joint. All right? So that's what's going on. When all else fails, they take you to war. And now he's ramping up the Ukraine war. This is the guy that said he would, hey, you elect me, I'm going to know war in 24 hours, right? Hey. Now that I'm elected, hey, here I am. That war's going to end before I get inaugurated.
In his broader scenario, the future of gold hinges on a binary outcome, but either direction carries profound implications. If the global shocks he warns about do strike, be they financial crises, escalating geopolitical tensions, or energy disruptions, the repricing of gold could be sudden and transformational. Such an event would not simply mean higher prices, it would represent a fundamental revaluation of what money and security mean in the modern world. Gold, long dismissed as a relic, would be thrust back into the center of global finance almost overnight, forcing institutions, governments, and individuals to rethink how they measure and protect wealth. Celente envisions a period of consolidation, where gold pauses in its ascent, but never truly loses its appeal. This reprieve, however, would not signal safety. Instead, it would serve as the quiet before the storm, a time when those who prepare early can position themselves before the inevitable dislocations. He stresses that even in periods of stability, the underlying drivers, mounting debt, eroding trust in fiat systems, and the steady shift of power toward emerging economies, continue to build beneath the surface, ensuring that the long-term trajectory remains firmly in gold's favor. Share your thoughts on their analysis in the comments section below. If you find this video informative, please support and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the following video. Thanks for watching.